Man, I love the new stuff in the studio.
What do you mean, our new pro light setup? You mean the new mic? You mean like our new card mat? You mean our new jersey rack? You mean my sexy new card binder?
No, man. I mean the new stuff. When did you take your shirt off?
Welcome to Court Cousins. Two cousins sharing laughs and talking the team they love, the Orlando Magic. Let's get into it. Welcome everybody to Court Cousins episode 16. My name is Kyle. I'm joined as always by my cousin, my co-host, Jason the Pich. We are recording on March 31st, Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. We have a great show for you today. We're going to check in with each other for our Robin Lopez check-in, our ROLO Check In, if you will. We'll scour the interwebs for your posts about our Orlando Magic and the social media roundup. Pich will tell us what he's learned in this last stretch of games. We will fill in the blank. We'll play a little fact or fiction, and we'll finish out with a quick Court Cousins Championship recap. And as we start always, before all that fun and games, we want to check in with each other. You know, I'm a teacher. Social emotional check-ins are important. We didn't get enough of those when I was growing up, Lord knows.
Zero.
But we do it a little differently here. We do it on the meter of a Robin Lopez for the ROLO Check In. And I will start today, Pich. I always kick it to you, but I'm going to get this one going.
Lead us off.
I have a kind of dazed Robin Lopez. Looks like he may be in a Portland Trailblazers. I don't know if Rolo's adventures ever took him there. I lose track of all the teams that this majestic man has played for. But I'm feeling a little dazed, Pich. I really don't know what to think moving into the end of this basketball season. Part of me is like, please stop the pain. Like, it's been enough. I can't anymore. I can't watch any more losses. But part of me is really enjoying it and knows that I'm going to miss the heck out of watching our Orlando Magic. You know, it's New England. It's been 20 degrees one day and 65 the next. I don't think that's helping. So I'm in this kind of in-between space.
Yes.
And that's why I have this very dazed and confused, maybe with a little bit of medicine in there as well, Robin Lopez.
I see.
Yes. How are you feeling today for our ROLO Check-In?
Well, sir, I've got a lot to say here, and I think you're going to like where this all goes. So
Okay.
it's a good thing you're sitting down.
Okay.
So I've chosen this picture of Rolo and stuff. I'm sure you all remember this. We've talked about it on the show before, getting a gift. You can see, even though he has a mask on there, that Rolo is happy. He has gratitude. That is where I'm at right now. I'm feeling a lot of gratitude. A lot of things are kind of going well. Went to the NCAA tourney. Vermont did not win, but we still had fun. I won $5,000 at the casino that night, so no complaints from me.
Yes, dude.
Feeling good there. Shout out to the Boston Pride, by the way, the winners of the PHF championship. They won the Isabel Cup, which is named after the daughter of Stanley Cup.
Okay.
So that's fun, good for them. And I'm wearing the North Carolina colors today because they made the Final Four, and I think that's cool. And they get another shot at Duke, and I think that whole storyline is just pretty awesome to see.
That's gonna be a sick game
on this big stage. It's gonna be pretty fun. But you know, aside from all that, sir. Where this picture really comes from is a gift is being given. I've got the stuff is over here, as you saw in the intro.
We know that now.
And I have a gift for you, sir.
What?
I see that you have all the confusingness in your Rolo, and you've been working hard, and you do all the editing on this show.
I'm even more confused
and you work hard, and you know what? When I hit it big, I said, you know what? I want to get something special for my cousin because he makes this thing go, man. You're the coal in this locomotive. So I got something here for you that I think is a little bit of a showstopper, even though we're going to have plenty more shows, so stick around.
Are you kidding me, dude?
It's a Franz Wagner jersey.
Ew, dude. Oh, my fucking God. I love you,
and it's signed.
No, you didn't, dude. No, you didn't. Dude.
It's not one of the high-quality jerseys, but it is signed.
Oh, my God.
And here's a picture of him signing it.
That's weird, but thank you. Just in case you needed proof. Wow.
And it also came with this, which I'm going to put up in the studio, which is Franz on draft night, also signed.
Oh.
And also a picture of him signing that as well. So, I'm on eBay doing things for us, finding stuff, and,
Oh my God, man. This is
needed
amazing, dude. I love you so much. This is so cool.
I love you too, man. I got the gratitude flowing through my veins. A lot of my good mood comes from you. And you know what? A big move for me to move here out of the blue, and being able to be around you and some of your friends has made this move go a lot smoother than a lot of other ones in the past. And it's time to spread some of that love and some of that back. So I thank you, sir.
Okay. I need a scene change real quick. I need to put this up. I have the Wendell Carter. I don't mean any disrespect, but I feel like this needs to go up for the rest of the show.
Let's do it, man.
All right. I'm going to put this up. Wow. This is amazing, ladies and gentlemen.
It is.
It can only go down from here, but stick with us, all right?
No, there's not going to be any jerseys given away at the end of the show?
No jersey giveaways. Make sure you go over to @court_cousins on our Instagram. Enter the contest. We're giving away 4 team packs, different years.
3 team packs and 5
Cole Anthony rookies. That is awesome. All you got to do is comment, tag another Magic fan. We're trying to build the Magic community on our Instagram, and comment who you think is going to win the tournament. And from that social media post now into our social media roundup, we have some gems. I mean, the Orlando Magic themselves may be trying to tank, at least Jeff Weltman, but the Orlando Magic fan community is staying strong till the end. They're pushing all the way to the finish line. And we're starting it off with @DonnieT12. He's been a mainstay on the social media roundup, and he's got a little bit of a meme. There's a party happening, and we have our Orlando Magic man in the corner just observing it all, looking at the joviality of the Detroit Pistons and the Toronto Raptors and the Houston Rockets and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they're having a good time. But our Magic man is in the corner, and he's saying, or she, to themselves, they don't know we have the real Rookie of the Year. So, Pich, a lot has been made of some of these other rookies, but where do you think our guy Franz stacks up?
Well, he's not going to stack up where he should be, which is definitely in the top 3 for this category. And I wonder if maybe they're even going to keep him out of that top 3. But we're going to have the last laugh at the end of the day. This happens sometimes where somebody has a rookie year that's better, and you're like, what? Yeah, just remember that Dwight didn't win the Rookie of the Year his rookie season, but ended up being the much better player of that draft class. Sometimes things get skewed, or guys just have a good season because they played well in college and they're just keeping it going, but they've kind of peaked and they spit her out. I mean, the Rookie of the Year is nice to get. Sure. I mean, Mike Miller won it for us a long time ago, but that might have been one of his best seasons.
Right.
And then kind of fell from there. But he's still a good player. No knock on Mike. But I think you'd rather see your guy get better long-term than win the Rookie of the Year. So I love to see Franz win it because I think he deserves it. But it's not going to go that way. He's not on enough people's sheets. The writers are not. He's not the sexy pick, even though he probably should be. But in years in the future, we'll look back on this and be like, oh, he's definitely got to be one of the best.
We'll be the Magic fan in the corner here.
Right. So,
if they only knew. Yeah, I mean, Mobley is balling out on what has been an upstart Cleveland Cavaliers team. They're kind of getting injured now and faltering at the exact wrong time. Going into the playoffs. So that's unfortunate because they were having a really great year. Darius Garland's emergence. Jarrett Allen's been playing really well. The team's been playing well, and he's been a big piece of that. So I think he gets the nod and the fanfare and the attention because he has the best team right now. And Cade Cunningham is just the prodigal son. That's who all the NBA folks really want to win. He's the sexy #1 pick, got the swagoo on him. They really want to push the Cade agenda. And, we're just sitting back. We've got the kind of unassuming looking Franz Wagner, the unknown German guy who hasn't been, as you said, on anybody's radar, but he's really coming on strong. He's been consistent all year long, unlike some of these other guys.
He's played every game.
Yeah, every single game. And tied into this social media roundup, this post is the "Is This Anything" from a couple nights ago. Is this anything? Where David Steele brought up, kind of a weird, these stats sometimes they seem a little bit molded to make a point. He brought up the stat of NBA rookies all time that have scored 15 plus points, 4.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 46% or better from the field, and 80% plus on free throws. Like, kind of a weird amalgamation of stats that you just feel like we're punched in because that's Franz Wagner's stat line and where does he stack up? But when you plug in Franz Wagner's stat line, what comes out? Oscar Robertson, Walter Davis, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Mitch Richmond, Larry Johnson, Christian Laettner. That's some damn good company.
Yeah, when you just announce what that category is, my initial thought is he's not getting a bell tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you see the list of names pop up, and with all due respect to Walter Davis, I'm not familiar with him. Everybody else on this list is damn good. Even Christian Laettner, as much as you might want to joke about it, he definitely peaked in college, by the way.
Right.
But like still a solid player in the NBA for a long period of time. And all the rest of those guys were all-stars for many years, MVPs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, once you see that his name is on that list with these guys and you're just like, really? That's great.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be like, does everyone know about this?
Yeah.
Can someone send this
To the Rookie of the Year people? Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I think they really aren't as worried about being wrong in the future. It's not like it's all based on this season. But even then, I mean, it's nice when you don't really have to get up on the soapbox for Franz. You can legit just show him stuff like this and be like, there's A and B and
yeah.
Look
It's
at
kind
all
of a
this
mic drop moment
stuff
right there.
that he's doing.
Like,
Yeah.
here he is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's mic drop. Yeah.
Yeah. So, no disrespect. I just took Wendell's jersey down, but no disrespect, Wendell. These are special circumstances. I was taken aback. I did not know that was going to happen. We were Pich bestowed me with this autographed Franz that just had to go up for this episode. And we just waxed poetic on Franz. But Wendell has been another big consistent player. And the thing that Orlando Magic fans have been clamoring for all year, since the goggles first graced this man's face in Orlando in the 407, is, please, can we get some Horace Grant goggles on our boy Wendell Carter Jr.? And finally, Pich, I feel like I've been walking in a desert towards an oasis, and I've finally gotten there. We get some radio signal from Wendell tweeting out, I need me some Horace Grant goggles for next year. Yes.
What is the delay in this? It'd be like talking to somebody who doesn't yet have a 4G phone. Like what? How did this just come up? Like that's the only reason this made the social media roundup for us again, because we've talked about this, I feel like, to death almost on the show, because his eye safety has become this huge issue for us this entire season. And to me, the first person I thought of when I saw an Orlando Magic player, especially on the inside wearing goggles, was, oh, he should get some Horace Grant ones, and he didn't. And he also didn't go the Danny Shays route, if you remember last show when I showed those.
Yeah, that's probably less
He went in
notable.
this whole different realm of weird spectacle, which, to be fair, over the last set of games is working much better. So maybe he's finally found a happy medium. But how he didn't make this connection sooner, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I understand, guys that come onto teams may not be as big into the institutional knowledge as all of us fans. We have, all the historical stuff built up inside of us that we're just clamoring for. But you got to figure he knows about Horace Grant.
There's a few pics of Horace Grant around Amway. I've seen him.
Well, I'll go with another theory then.
Okay.
Wendell Carter wants to be a legendary Orlando Magic. Much like Horace Grant.
Okay. He's got his own frames.
Exactly. He's got to blaze his own spectacle trail.
Okay.
He doesn't want to stand in the spectacle shadow of anybody else.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the way our team fashions out, I got to say I probably agree with that take. That might be one of the best you've had all season.
On glasses. Great. Okay, thanks, Pich. Next, this doesn't really have anything to do with the Orlando Magic, though we're going to make it have something to do with the
it
Orlando
does.
Magic. Okay. This is from what? The Indiana Pacers broadcast?
This is the Nuggets broadcast.
Oh, this is the Nuggets broadcast. And we're going to play it right now for everybody.
Before I let you go, Hastings, I saw Jermichael Green warming up behind you. Any word yet on if he's able to go tonight? I think he was questionable coming into this game.
I'll ask him. Where'd he go?
Yeah.
Hey, Jermichael. Hey, Jermichael. You playing? No, he's not playing. That's how you do it. I don't know why you got to wait for all these letters. Why you got to wait for all these letters and stuff to come out? Just ask the dude. And he said he wasn't playing.
And as you can see, just courtside announcer going straight to the source. We applaud you, sir. What was this gentleman's name? Did we catch that?
She did say it, but
Yeah.
I forgot what it was. But we need to get that guy for the Orlando Magic. We could have used him this year. Actually, just asking guys during the warm up, what's up?
Yeah.
I think that like only getting to interview a couple guys after each game, man, that just stunk.
Yeah,
like we
it
need to
did.
do away with all that. Hopefully, that's never a thing again. I just that's all you're looking for. You just made it super simple. Like, I don't know if this guy just climbed off the porch and into the Nuggets broadcast, but like, God bless him. He needed an answer to a question. The guy's standing right behind him. He just asked him. It's not that hard.
He definitely kicks it with the old man on the porch from our show. I think they may be friends or pen pals. They write letters to each other, perhaps.
Old school.
See, but the only problem I have with this take, Pich, is are we kicking out Dante? Are we kicking out Jeff? Are we kicking out David? We can't do that.
It's true. Well, I guess he could back one of them up. We definitely saw our backups in there all season. So I
If someone
definitely
goes on
take
the
him as a
COVID
backup for Dante for sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I get that. I think I love our broadcast guys, and they are probably the most distinguished gentlemen in the league. They don't want to run afoul of anyone. They speak kindly on anyone, and they will not cross a line. Like Jeff Turner, David Steele,
Nope.
they're not gonna climb over anyone's head and ask a player a question directly that they know the front office or the coach probably doesn't really want to get out, or else they'd be putting it out.
True.
And
true.
they're team guys.
Yeah,
they're
don't
company
really,
guys.
They don't really necessarily always question the things that might raise the ire of the people inside, which is smart. You don't want
Yeah.
to piss off your bosses.
No, yeah, I can't blame them. And they still do a bang up job, of course.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think that we have one of the best broadcast
To-
teams, if not the
Since we're
best.
talking about them, I don't think I would have gotten this far in the season enjoying the games as much with different guys on the call. They really add a lot to the game, and they're having fun.
Yes.
They're watching the Magic
Yeah, they
lose
are.
a lot of games, and they're still finding a way to make it fun and be positive at the same time, which is fantastic. That's what you need if you're a team in this spot, and I'm glad we have it.
It is almost like a superpower the way those guys are able to bring it every single night. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, David. Thank you, Dante. I got Dante's autograph. And Jeff. And David.
Oh, we got the whole squad.
We got the whole squad. Next, this is one that you have no clue about. You're completely in the dark,
I am.
which was amazing to me. This one is from Nick Gardini. I believe this was posted on quite possibly the most toxic place in the world, which is the Magic Nation Facebook page. There's a lot
I've
of
seen worse. but
negativity on
for
there.
Magic fans, it's up there.
It's understandable. It's a tough year.
Yeah.
And this news came out after we got the information about J.I. hamstring issue, having a surgery that was billed as minor. Okay. After we were kind of anticipating whether or not he was going to get on the court for the rest of the year, they announced that he wasn't going to get on the court, then the hamstring, and Nick Gardini posts this beautiful Photoshop job of Mr. Glass, who is Samuel L. Jackson in the M. Night Shyamalan movies, Unbreakable, and then I think the second one was called Glass, of Mr. Glass, Samuel L. Jackson's character, in the purple robe and wheelchair, cruising along. I know you don't get the reference,
I
but
don't.
I mean, how do you feel about so Mr. Glass, for Pich and everyone out there, he has a huge, enormous brain. It's like a super Howard brain, but if he falls downstairs, he breaks all his bones. Like he's fragile.
He's Professor X.
Mr. Glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I think Professor X was a little more
Right, but people
hardcore
know
than-
who he is.
Yes.
so.
Okay. Well, what do you think about all this stuff with J.I.? I mean, it kind of, not that he wasn't going to play. We kind of knew that. But then the hamstring thing. What are your thoughts? How you feeling about that right now, dude?
I don't have a ton of thoughts on it, to be right honest with you. I didn't really. It got later in the season, and I just realized, okay, the guy's not going to play. I think that I did one show where I showed a card of Markel and him, and I thought, okay, let's see if I can speak it into existence and have one of these guys return to the court. Well, we got one of them.
Yeah.
And from that moment forward, I've kind of been like, yeah, I don't think we're getting him this season, and I'm totally fine with it. And it's like, I understand he got injured again during the rehab or whatever, needs to get whatever. He's going to have plenty of time to get right. If he doesn't come back in the beginning of the next season, then I might have some ire as to what the heck's going on. If it's from the same thing. But if this is over and he's good to go, we didn't really lose any games out of it. It would have been nice to see him mix in a little bit, show some of what he can do just to see. But
that's
as we're about to get to, we don't really interested in seeing a lot of winning or doing things. So,
yeah, this has been kind of tough to take. Just another injury around Jonathan Isaac. It's just been a saga, man. I feel like I'm freaking Frodo Baggins, like trying to get to the ring, like fighting freaking goblins. Then I got to climb a freaking mountain. Then I got to like whack off a wizard and like get some type of gem. You know, it's just like one thing after another.
Sit through a 3-hour film.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just it's too much, and I'm broken. I'm that dazed and confused Rolo at the beginning that just I'm in a cloud with the Jonathan Isaac stuff. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Things just keep happening. Somehow Jeff Weltman's telling me there's been no setbacks yet. The dude hasn't played in 2 years. Nothing makes sense. Help it make sense, Magic community. Help it make sense, please.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to say no setbacks when there wasn't a set forward.
Okay.
And he wasn't still staying still, so...
What kind of Newton's law of physics is that? I have no idea.
It's one of those 2 steps backwards, 1 forward, or I don't know exactly what the phrasing is there. But, you know, sometimes you don't actually know either. He's maybe just being told stuff by other people, so... Benefit of the doubt. They don't have one of those crack ace reporters standing there asking guys what's
Hey, Jonathan,
up.
what the hell's going on? All right, he's messed up.
Yeah, I haven't heard him answer one of those things all year. How great would it have been all the times you see him shooting out there if somebody would have turned to him and be like, hey, Jonathan, are you coming back to play this season? What would he have said? Probably not, or no, or it would have been fun to see.
Yeah, act like it in here. Yeah, I mean, it was tough that this is what I had to learn about Jonathan Isaac in recent days, but run us through some of the recent games, Pich, and let's go into what I learned, where you kind of drop some knowledge about what you saw in the games, maybe have some funny quips about our beloved Orlando Magic.
All right. Well, on 3/17, St. Patty's Day, we had a 134-120 loss to the Pistons. The Magic were 11 for 30 from three-point range. This was just not what it should have been. You'd like to think we could have beat the Pistons in this one. But I did learn that Franz Wagner loves to cut so much, I'm afraid to leave him alone with scissors when he's depressed. He really loves moving without the ball, and you got to love it. The Wagners combined for 42, but we had no Wendell, so no Winnie here.
I forgot about that joke. Thank you for bringing that back.
Sometimes I say them in live time. We watch the game, then I recycle them here.
Yeah, I'm like, you got to write that shit down.
Insider. I did. I wrote that one down. There's another one that I forgot that hopefully it'll just come to me. I don't know. Next up on 320, a 90-85 win versus the Thunder. Flint, Michigan brought you the Mega Bowl. And in this game, Orlando, Florida brought you the Tank Bowl. 2 teams went out there and played basketball. The Thunder threw out a Theo Maledon, who I thought went extinct when the comet hit the Earth a long time ago. They had a guy named Krejci, which made me feel like I was watching a Boston Bruins game. And then they had this guy named Pokasevsky, who it's up for debate. I thought he looked like an alien. Your girlfriend claimed he looked like a fish.
Definitely looks like a fish.
I think both arguments are valid. He could be actually an alien fish who's learning how to be a human man. Just an awkward looking dude. He's got some skill, but I think he's tall. I don't know.
That's it.
I don't have to worry about the Thunder. It's a Thunder show. The teams shot 32% and 38% respectively.
Oof.
That happened in an NBA game. So one team had to win. We did. We only went 7 for 31 from 3 in this one, by the way. But Wendell had 30 points if you're looking for a bright spot. And, of course, a W.
Yeah.
Which I think those days might be over after this next game, which was on 3/22, a 94-90 win versus the Warriors, folks. The Warriors, now they don't have Steph Curry,
Right.
but other than that, everybody was there for that one. And you know what? Our defense played well. We forced 18 turnovers in this one, 19 from Wendell, 18 from Franz, 14 from Cole. Just a good team game, playing within themselves, making the Warriors make mistakes. And the Warriors, they weren't as warrior-y as you'd normally assume them to be down the stretch. I know
fuck you, Draymond Green.
Draymond Green had some comments about the Orlando Magic after the game where he said to take no respect, and clearly you didn't hear that part.
No, I know.
But as we all know, whenever you preface something with
exactly.
that,
You can't ever preface something with no disrespect, but the Magic suck.
Yes,
Bro,
the minute you say no disrespect,
yeah, you suck without Steph Curry.
get ready for some
Who
disrespect.
are you without
to come.
Steph Curry? You know?
Well,
see how far you get.
I mean, I still think he's a quality player, and he had some points because this team can
sure.
play much better. And I did, as a matter of fact, last night against the Suns, even though they lost, they played really well. This was the game, however, that I think made all of the boys from the Magic go, hey, fuel up the tank. What's happening? Why are we winning so many games? What's happening? No 3-game win streaks for us is what they're basically saying. So, spoiler alert, our next game is against, oh my God, it's Tank Bowl 2 from the makers of Tank Bowl 1. This one taking place in Oklahoma City this time. We had no Fultz, no Wendell, so of course no problem for us. No. We still had 6 guys in double figures, led by Okiki with 19, but this was the game where the G League takeover started to come into play. 30 minutes for Downton, 22 for Schofield and Iggy respectively, and no slight to them, but when they're getting those type of minutes, it just feels like they're clearly not trying to win this game. The Thunder is a very beatable team for us with our current roster, and it's depressing to me to see that take place. But then we moved on to 326, a 114-110 overtime loss to the Kings. This was a heartbreaker.
Yeah, that stung.
Because we led this game most of the second half and should have been in that moment where we're getting the ball, getting fouled, and trying to shoot free throws to make sure it's a 3 or 4 point game.
Right.
Instead, Cole is stripped. They tie the game up, and we lose in overtime because the Magic are 0-4 in overtime this year. So if you've learned anything, learn that the Magic can't play in overtime. Our offense goes to sleep. We don't know what to do sometimes late in games and in overtime, and we got exposed at the end of this game. And this is a game we should have won, could have won, and it could have been our last chance to actually win a game. Except for this one on 328, 107-101 loss to the Cavs. He's probably giggling because he's reading my notes. Folks, at 7:30 left in the fourth quarter, I broke.
Yeah.
I broke. Cue the tank. Folks, I hate the tank. And have hated the tank since the idea of it came up. And I hate it even more now. But I did take the time to make this graphic because I just wanted to play with Canva more. And I wanted to get in that shaking fist graphic. It makes me so mad. I think the way that the draft lottery is set up right now, there's not a huge advantage to being absolutely dead last. I understand there's an advantage to the top 3, but it just breaks my heart when there's a game that we can win. And then all fourth quarter, I'm like, okay, now you got to come back with the starters.
Right.
Okay, now you got to come back with the starters.
Oh,
and
no.
then I just realized, they're not coming back with the starters.
No.
They're just going to play this 5 the entire quarter.
Yep.
And just run it. And it's like, and I know those guys out there aren't trying to lose.
Absolutely not.
They're playing their hardest, and I appreciate their efforts. I do. And I'm still going to root for those guys to win. Mm-hmm. But it just hurt my soul to know that you have guys over there that could come in and win you this game. The Cavs had no inside players. Mobley got injured in this game.
Right.
Lauri Markkanen goes out.
Yeah.
Right, he ended up coming back in.
He did.
But like, we could have dominated the inside paint.
Easily.
And we decided not to. And just that act of deciding, nah.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it, man. And I'll drop a lot of F-bombs on the show, but
I'm the dirty
fucking
one.
hate it, bro.
Yeah.
It makes me feel bad. Luckily, the season is almost over, so we don't have to deal with this much more. For those who cared, on 330, a 127-110 loss to the Wizards. I kind of watched this game like a sucker, maybe thinking maybe we'd try to win this one. And Franz and Fultz certainly played like it. 28 from Franz, 19 from Fultz. But yeah, they kind of did that same idea. This time they let Fultz play a little bit more in the fourth. But yeah, it's not the tip. It's not, I feel like we're back in the COVID era where it's like, there's just random guys in there and there's Tim Frazier's closing out a game for us. And you're just like, where did he come from? What's going on? What is happening? Don't we have somebody else that you just put in there? And the tank is live, folks. And I don't like it. And there's nothing I can do to stop it. It is what it is. There's only 5 games left. So I got to try to make my peace with it.
Tight.
I got to
white knuckle it. Oh, yeah.
I got to get zen. I got to get back into the yoga and just chill out a little bit because once the season's over, then I don't have to worry about the tank as much. The other things that I learned during this past set is St. Peter's is a college. I think a lot of people probably learned that as well.
Know that either.
So we all share that. Apparently. We all share that one. Flo Thamba is a person.
Yeah.
A person that plays basketball at a Texas college. I'm so thrown by the Flo Thamba-ness. When there's a Mo Bamba that already exists.
Yeah. Do you think they chill ever? Do they know each other?
They've got to know each other at this point.
Yeah, you think their names
There's got to be something.
Someone that was like, dude, you got to talk to this guy.
This is too weird, man. Yeah. How does this happen? Like, a Flo Thamba could come up in life. First of all, weird name, Flo, but whatever, you do your thing. So the guy's name's Flo Thamba, but he couldn't even be into sports. He might be an artist or something like that. But then if you are in sports, maybe he likes lacrosse. No, basketball. How do they both do the same thing? Like, it's just too weird to me. It was throwing me off. I'm glad Baylor went out of the tournament early. Yeah. I was sick of hearing Flo Thamba's name and being like, what? Is that what he's saying? I mean, I had to Google this and look it up. That's my life. That's who I am. When something like that happens, I'm like annoyed.
It gets in your sinews.
And if I talk to somebody else about it and they don't have any thoughts on it, then I'm super annoyed.
Yeah.
Like, how can you not be interested in this? It's Flo Thamba, there's a Mo Bamba, and they both in the basketball, and holy shit. But that's just me, man. Lastly, like I said, there's just 5 games left to go in this season, so I'm going to learn more things.
Yeah.
I'm probably just not going to learn much more about the Magic at this point in the season.
Hey, you've learned a lot, Pich.
I have.
As the teacher in this group, I am super proud of your growth and your learning and sharing it with everybody. Thank you so much, sir.
Hey, you're welcome, buddy. I want to fill in a blank.
All right. Well, this is perfect timing then.
Yeah.
Because we're now going into fill in the blank, ladies and gentlemen. This is a classic game that many sports talk shows play, and we want to get in on the action. So I'm going to present a statement, and then both Pich and I will fill in the blank. You want me to go first, or are you taking the first one, Pich?
Let me go first on this one because I think I'm going to be briefer than you.
Okay. All right. So the first statement. Blank is the Orlando Magic's future star.
There's no question about it. We've already talked about him a lot in this one. It's Franz. There's a part of me that wants to say Wendell or somebody else just so that I can talk about them and how great they are for a bit. But honestly, if I have to pick who I think is going to be our breakout star down the road, it's got to be Franz. He has so much in his bag of tricks that is possible for him to use that it's tough to find a comparison to him. He has moves of a guard, the shooting of a guard, but the size of a big man, and he can kind of play. He plays great defense, and he cuts and he moves with the ball and he'll rebound, and he kind of like there aren't a lot of guys that are effective at doing everything and are 6'10".
Right.
So I don't know. I mean,
yeah. I'm doing the same thing. Franz is the Orlando Magic's future star. I agree with you for everything you said. I mean, to be a superstar in the NBA, and we could debate whether or not Franz has the capability to be a superstar, however you define that, versus a star, kind of that next tier down.
It means his cards are worth a lot more.
Okay. You got to be able, both of those tiers, though, you got to be able to score at all 3 levels. Mm-hmm. You know, that's just the modern NBA. You got to shoot the 3, have a little mid-range, be able to get to the hoop. And like you said, Franz can do all those things. He didn't shoot great from beyond the arc. I think it was in the low to mid-30s, maybe around 30.
Better at the beginning of the season.
Yes, that's true. That's true, but that will continue to come along. I think that's only going to get better, and for him to be starting in the mid-30s as a rookie is fantastic. We already talked about the rare company that he was in with David Steele's Is This Anything, averaging 15.5 points, 4.5 boards, 2.5 assists, almost 50% from the field. That's not effective field goal percentage. That's 50% almost from the field. That's fantastic. He can do it all, like you said, inside out, off the dribble, cutting, good team defender, going to become an even better on-ball defender. I was trying, when we were thinking about this, fill in the blank, a little bit, to find some star comps of who I thought the player he can develop into. I came up with these. Let me know what you think of any of these. Jaylen Brown kind of came in as a Swiss Army knife type of guy. He's been an all-star before. Wouldn't consider him a superstar, but he's a star. I have Pascal Siakam on here just because he shoots the rock, he dribbles, he has an inside game. He's a little bit bigger, I think, than Franz, but not much. They're about the same size. So I thought that was a pretty good comp. He's been an all-star. Neither of those guys are superstars. Paul Pierce, going back a little bit. Maybe Paul Pierce you don't like Paul, but maybe Paul had a little bit more handle than Franz so far, but I didn't watch a lot of Paul Pierce's rookie year. I don't remember exactly what was going on then. I remember him when I was in Boston in the mid to late 2000s. He can score at all three levels. And Sean Marion, I know he may be a little bit more of a 3-and-D guy, but earlier on, Sean had a lot more athleticism too, and he was taking it to the house. And the last guy I got, and I really like this comp, is Chris Bosh, because he was a big man, a little bit taller than Franz, but could score off the dribble, definitely got to the house, maybe a little bit more tenacious inside early in his career than Franz has been, but
doesn't get a lot of respect by the media.
Yeah, that's true, exactly. And don't tell Karl Anthony Towns that Franz is soft inside, because Franz will definitely throw down the German hammer from time to time, and he's not shy about going inside with a vengeance. So,
yeah,
what do you think about any of those comps?
I get why you made the comps. You can make the argument on maybe all of those, except for I don't think Paul Pierce at all. But
a little smaller, maybe.
But I really hope he is better than all of these players. I get that Chris Bosh has some
Bosh, man,
good numbers,
how many all-star
games and stuff like that.
6, 7,
but
8
I
all-stars?
think he was too much of an inside player. I know he could shoot the outside, but
yes,
he definitely didn't have the driving ability that Franz is. But this kind of makes the point here. Every one of these player comps, you seems like, but that guy was missing this. That guy was missing this. You know who's not missing those things? Franz Wagner.
Yeah. No, you're right. Complete total package. And I mean, dude, if he turns into a Chris Bosh, I'll be ecstatic. That would be fantastic. We got the Swiss Army knife. I think we got the steal of the draft. Could be a potential
The German
star.
Army knife.
The German Army knife.
It does way more things.
Yeah.
It's German engineered.
Yeah. Very efficient. All right. So we're in the Final Four, Pich. Your Tar Heels are still there. We've been watching, you and I, quite a bit of tournament basketball, you even more than I. So I present this to you, Pich. After seeing the college tourney, blank is the player I want on the Orlando Magic.
Oh, you're going to make me say it while wearing a North Carolina jersey, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Plug your ears, Ramsey. It's got to be Paulo. I like what he's doing in this tournament. He's definitely the things that I said about him before when our player review, which were all mostly good, but it didn't look like he had that killer instinct. And I said I didn't like how they lost in the ACC tournament. I didn't like how they lost their last game at home to UNC.
Right.
Wow, do they have a chance for redemption, by the way.
Yeah.
If he plays well in this game, I don't think there's any way he doesn't go overall, 1 or 2. He's showing more of his skill set and doing a little bit more of that takeover. And Duke's a very good team. They're pretty balanced. So he doesn't need to take over, but he uses what he has. And, man, he can create his own shot. He can do a lot of nice things that you want to see from a young player. I want to see him in our colors, dude. Man. Yeah. That would be my number 1 pick probably right now. No slight to really any of the other guys that have played. I just feel like he's getting to play longer.
Right.
Than
we're seeing him more
Ivey
too,
or Jabari Smith Jr. So but Jabari had a bad game in the game that they got knocked out. He had a poor game shooting.
Right.
That's why
it was his worst game of the season.
Exactly.
That was unfortunate.
So it's a bad time to have the bad game, but he's still going to be a top draft pick. Could still be number 1 overall, depending on who picks. So
it was unfortunate for Jabari Smith Jr. that he didn't have anyone to pick up the slack at all. If Paulo doesn't have a good game, he's had all great games, and I'm agreeing 100%. Paulo is the guy that I want to see in a Magic uniform next year if I could have my choice. Mm-hmm. That's a really good team.
It is.
The Duke team. I mean,
is.
they've got, Moore Jr., I believe, is their
Right.
point guard. That
Yep.
guy has great court vision. The big man down low, his name is escaping me, is fantastic. AJ Griffin, who's another purported top 10 player, can score
Right.
the rock too. Like,
He doesn't even need to do a lot
No.
sometimes, and he's predicted as
he
a
can
top
just
10
cut.
draft pick. And like,
he can cut and shoot.
just hangs
Like,
out.
That's how good
Right.
they are, that they've got
Right.
a top 10 guy who can just kind of cut and shoot. And Paolo has just been absolutely a monster during the college tournament. He's shooting 55% from the floor. Again, that's not effective field goal percentage. That's just straight up 55% from the field.
Right.
About 19 points, 6.6 rebounds, 3.2 assists, just bringing intensity and the wing things that we talked about when we were doing our first player reviews. We're both still really high on Jabari Smith Jr., I think. That guy's going to be a great player. But as I've been kind of mulling it over and watching more, I just feel like the skill set of Paolo fits in much better with the current team. I feel like Jabari has a little bit too much skill duplication or play duplication as like a Franz Wagner. Because Jabari's not, from what I've seen so far, and I've got to go back and watch a bunch more as we're going to do more of these kind of review videos as we build up towards the draft. But he doesn't seem like he's a guy that's going to create off the dribble. He's not a guy that was necessarily shooting off the dribble a lot. He's a guy that's going to cut, be in the right place. He has a really nice post game. Jabari Smith Jr. has some really great footwork down low. If you get him the ball down on the block or within 18 feet, he can do well down there. But, that's kind of what Franz is, like a fill-in-the-gap guy, although he could be a superstar, as we just talked about. He's kind of that dude. He's got that vibe. Whereas Paolo, I feel like, is more of, honestly, even though he's 6'10", feels to me like an NBA small forward. Right. In that he dribbles a lot more. He'll shoot off the dribble, shoot off the bounce, like a Carmelo Anthony, Paul George, those types of guys that have the rock in their hands and can be dangerous.
Like at this point, if you're not at least 6'10", the top of the NBA draft has almost no use for you unless you're super skilled like Jaden Ivey.
Right.
So it's sort of like it's getting to be that way that there's going to be more threes that are 6'10", and at some point shooting guards who are 6'9", because everybody's just taller.
Everyone's
now.
bigger, right? Yeah. This is like amorphous type of league, and you're not worried his crazy whatever thing that Paolo has going on with the weight loss and the sweating symptoms. He has some type of I don't want to call it a disorder, but like an overactive sweat gland.
Sweat gland, yes.
So you said he loses like 7 pounds?
I believe they said he lost 7 pounds during one of the last games, which is incredible, by the way.
Yeah.
People would be lucky to lose that amount. People who have been training for a fight ever or something like that, or you're trying to lose weight, you're stepping on the scale for 2 weeks, you're losing 2-3 pounds.
Yeah.
He just loses 7 in a game, but in an unhealthy way.
Right.
So he has to make sure that he replaces that stuff. And I just think the NBA game is going to work better for that because there's a lot of stoppages where he can get the hydration,
better sciences.
And I think he's been playing better in the tournament because there's so many stoppages for the TV timeouts and looking at stuff, so he can stay well hydrated even at the end of games. Whereas during the regular season, if you have an televised game, they don't stop at every 12 or 8 minute interval or whatever and take a timeout. But in this tournament, he's looked a lot better, and I think it's because he's improved and also because he's probably getting hydrated. And I think they realize Coach K's career is on the line. So it's like, if we don't win, it just ends here. And it's cool that they got to the Final Four for him. But, man, they're only 2 games away from the championship. Send him out a winner.
That would be cool. Well,
no.
Yeah. Damn Tar Heel fans. All right. So we're going to go to an interesting one. Obviously, you bestowed me this treasure behind me, the Franz Wagner signed jersey today.
Yep.
I'm going to flip the script on you.
Okay.
I'm going to go the complete other way. The Magic player jersey I'm least likely to get is blank.
Well, I know we're going for which player, but if we're talking about those white-orange throwback, the white-orange City Edition, where it's white and orange, I don't want that of anybody.
Okay.
Not even just to have one, I don't think.
Okay.
I know maybe if I found one on the ground, I'd pick it up and put it in the collection, but I'm not going to buy any of those. Not a fan of that particular one. But I know we're looking for the player here.
Yeah.
And, man, there's a lot of people to choose from for this because when you get a jersey, I think I want to get somebody who's going to be with the team for a while. So I want to get somebody who's signed up.
Right.
Right. I want to get somebody that like I like to get somebody whose game emulates my game.
Oh,
you know, for the most part. Like I got a Cole Anthony when we were down there. We do not have similar games. No. That was a rare pickup for me. So I if I think about it from that perspective, I have to try to find somebody who doesn't have that similar game to me or make or build. Like, you know, if a guy has a beard,
know this about you.
He's all in. Yeah, man. Well, I didn't used to get a lot of jerseys back in the day. You know, I'd have like one jersey of a current player on my favorite team at any given time. Mm-hmm. So like you want to make sure it's a good one that you're going to stick with for a while.
Yeah.
And you don't want to have some busted one. My original thought coming into this one is the same one that I think that you were mentioning, which is Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the number thing. I'm just too shook by it. I don't understand why there's another number one. We've had two really good number ones already.
That should be in the rafters.
And I already have one of both those players. I have a Tracy McGrady. I have a Penny Hardaway. I don't need another one.
Yeah.
Mo Bamba is one you could throw out here.
Yeah.
I got a 5 Victor Oladipo, so I feel like I've got that look already. Sometimes the number actually really matters to me. Like, because... You know, if a guy's got a number,
we know
like
you're particular
already.
You're particular with your numbers.
I am.
Sorry to interrupt.
I mean, no one's ever going to wear 84, which is my actual number, because it's too radical and it's too weird in basketball. But I do also like 11, like you're sporting right now. Mm-hmm. And I just don't want to have the same numbers of players I already have. So I like to try to mix it up a little bit. You know, I've already got a Shaq 32, so if we, you know, had a 32, I don't think I would want that one, maybe necessarily, depending on the sleight of the player. It's no knock on any of these guys. It's just, that's my vibe. That's how I feel about it. I think if I had to go with just traditional thinking about it all the way, I might go with Gary Harris at this point, because I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be on our team.
That
just feels like one that I might have to want to return. And now they have jersey insurance.
Yeah.
It is available now.
I don't know
wasn't
anything
a thing
about
when I was a
that.
kid. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have that Victor Oladipo jersey over there.
That you got, like,
I got it after he'd already been traded. I was like, okay.
That's on your pops.
That was a late timing on a gift.
It was a late timing on a gift.
But what would you say?
I'm. This is a very boring fill in the blank because we're agreeing on everything. I would say Jonathan Isaac, just because the man hasn't played, and I'm just getting a little frustrated with Mr. Glass. You know, just. I know he's a great player. There's a great player in there, but it's just been frustrating not to see him on the court.
Sure.
There was the Joker meme of the pile of money being burnt. That's Jonathan Isaac's contract.
Yep.
Not that we needed that money or we were going to do anything with it. I really don't care about that. Some of we have different political views. I'll just leave it there. And some of that stuff just frustrates the crap out of me. I don't want to hear about your book signing when you just told us that you got a surgery for your hamstring. Now, that's not fair. The man he has all right to have his own damn life.
He didn't hurt his hammy writing a book.
No, yeah, exactly. Well, maybe not. Yeah, you don't know. You don't know. So I kind of get fed up with that because my connection to Jonathan Isaac is as a basketball player.
Sure.
And as a man, I think he's a good leader. He's very religious. I'm not. We just have different kind of views.
Right.
And I just kind of get sick of hearing about all this stuff when it's like, damn, man, I would love to see you play some basketball.
Right.
I love your point about the one, though. That's a good point. I'm trying to think of, the others. It would probably be Jalen Suggs if I didn't already have one because my girlfriend thinks he's cute. So screw you, Jalen. I'm just kidding. Love you, buddy. But don't come anywhere near my girlfriend. You won't. I won't allow that to happen.
Wow.
So, maybe,
it's good to know you guys patched things back up after the Franz Wagner accident. This jersey's probably not going to help.
This is not helping, man. This is gonna be a week in the doghouse, man. And so who are the guys that are on their way out? Yeah, Gary Harris, Terrence Ross. But I would love to have a T Ross, even if. Terrence is the type of guy.
That's a good one.
That he gets traded or he goes, and I'll buy the jersey on discount.
Well, he was on the team for a long time.
Yeah.
He really loved the community and being a part of the Magic. So that would be one of those ones that, like, if he left the team and they put it on discount sale, you'd be like, I get that.
I'll add that to the collection. Yeah. So I guess we're both in the same boat on that, Jonathan Isaac, just for slightly different reasons.
Right. Yeah. Completely different reasons, but totally for it. And in fact, I think maybe the opposite way about some of Jonathan Isaac's stances and would wear it if it wasn't a one.
Right. That's all right. See, we can have different stances and still love each other and still hang out and still be cordial.
Because we both picked the same thing, even though we had different views on it.
Look at that.
And that's why we're doing things. I know.
All right, last one. We're going back positive. Here. Jamal Mosley has, in our estimation, done a damn fine job. Tip of the cap to you, sir. Leading this club. Really solid job all around. So I'm going to ask you, Pich, fill in this blank. Blank is the thing that's impressed me most about Jamal Mosley.
I'm not really sure how to word this.
Okay.
Based on where the
Fit it
blank
in the
is.
damn blank. I know you colored it in the lines.
I'm just so excited to fill in these blanks, and now I need to fill it in. I'm going to make up a word that is really going to be kind of ironic.
Okay.
I'm going to call it the teachability. I think his work with our players has been evident.
Yeah.
And that's what a young team needed. They needed somebody that was going to let them kind of do their thing and have their fun. And I think he does. And I don't think they go overboard or inappropriately overboard. I think he lets them have their fun, but he's teaching them stuff. One of my favorite things that I've seen all year is some of these games when Suggs isn't playing, yet is in the ear of Mosley the whole time. Sometimes they call timeout and they're discussing things before they even get to the team huddle. I love to see that. He's teaching things. When Suggs came back from that injury, he was a different player. He had learned things from Mosley by not playing, and it almost made that a positive. He might not have gotten that same outlook by actually playing in the games. And he's getting it again now. I saw it the other day where they went out there and they're talking and discussing stuff. Look, I don't know exactly what they're saying, but it's resonating enough that the players want to hang out by the coach and be by the coach and soak up some of what he knows. He is a very popular guy around the league. You see, he knows coaches on almost every team.
Players,
he likes them. Yep. They're being nice. He's a player's coach, and that's what this young team is needed. And his ability to take those dudes and to mold them and to take this, what they have, and just really shine it out. Because you saw early in the year, he didn't know how to substitute correctly. The substitutions at the end of the game are weird. He was going through it, learning how to be a head coach. And he really learned even himself how to become a head coach and molding these young guys. That teachability for me is what I like to see. And it's why I'm so optimistic that it's going to continue through the future. And whatever draft pick we get is going to come in and get that much better as well. So that for me, it's about the teachability. How are you feeling in this blank?
I'm gonna get to a similar place, but I'm gonna take a little stroll first.
I'm here for it. Yeah.
So when Jamal Mosley came in, he gave us this kind of coaching euphemism of we're gonna play with pace, space, and the pass. So if I kind of look at those things, since the All-Star break, we're 10th in pace. So he's kind of coming through with that promise. The pass, our assist percentage since the All-Star break, 11th in the league, kind of coming through on that promise. And he also wanted to have everyone on a string on defense. He wanted to have a defensive identity. Now, that's where we've kind of come and gone. There have been periods where we've been one of the best defensive teams in the league, and there's been times where we haven't. I've been hearing people talk about how we're still top 5 right now since the All-Star break. I don't know if some of these recent games have skewed it, because when I looked up our defensive rating on NBA.com, it said we're 18th by defensive rating.
Right.
So that's a little lower than when we were like, but we've seen in spurts the team playing well. And I think it's a testament to the thing that I'm most impressed with is his vision. Vision is the thing that's impressed me most about Jamal Mosley, because in some of the ups and downs of the year, you've got to, as a leader, have a clear vision. I'm in school right now to be a principal, to be a leader in an educational setting. One of the big things that we always talk about is having a clear vision with your team. Everyone has to know where we're going, and every action has to push towards that vision. And I don't know exactly what Jamal Mosley's vision is. Some of those little cute quips, pace, space, those are probably baked in there, but I'm sure it's much deeper, and it definitely involves appreciating the human being as well. But whatever Jamal's vision is that he's been communicating to the team, it is resonating hardcore. because the guys are buying into the daily grind.
Yep.
They're not getting down on themselves with all these losses, which could be really something difficult. In all these, even the most recent games, the guys are having a blast on the bench. And I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, you should be upset because you're losing. No, this is not a winning season. We all knew that.
Yep.
And clearly, they still have the bigger picture in mind. So I'm just so impressed. As an aspiring leader myself, I would love to just talk to Jamal Mosley about some of his leadership techniques and how he creates his vision and how he communicates that with his staff and how he delegates and how he works with individuals to create goals, because he's clearly doing a slam dunk job with that type of stuff.
I would have to agree. I think we should get the man a yellow infinity stone for his forehead. I think that would really pull this whole vision thing together.
Okay. I can tell you just finished watching WandaVision.
Yeah, well,
You're a little late to that party.
I'm a joke guy over here.
All right, well, no jokes now, Pich. Now, only facts or only fiction. All right, no more joking, sir.
All right, I'm ready.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going into fact and fiction. It is exactly what it sounds like. We'll throw out some statements, and Pich and I will say whether it is fact or if it is fiction. So, first one. This has been the ire of many Magic fans lately. The Magic will end up in last place, Pich.
God damn.
Wow.
That was such a good sigh.
Yeah.
If you look up sigh in the dictionary, there it was. I'm saying fiction still. I'm saying fiction. I'm sorry. I'm not. I know the tank's in full effect. I talked about it all show, but I still feel like we're not going to be in dead last.
Okay.
There's other teams also trying to suck, and they're doing a way better job.
Okay.
So,
Well, we're in dead last right now, Pich.
I know, but looking at the schedule, some of those teams play each other a couple times. I mean, statistically, one of them's got to win. I mean,
Yeah. That is true, right? I think, what is it? I don't know exactly who plays each other, but I did hear them on the broadcast talking about, I think it's the Pistons and the Rockets,
Thunder,
or Pistons and Thunder. Yeah, Pistons and Thunder. They play each other. You're right. One of them does have to lose that game. So, yeah, I hear you. I think we're going to get like one more win, though, ourselves here, to the frustration of Jeff Weltman. I think we'll get one more in these next 5. And I think it is fact. I think there could be like a 2 or 3-way tie here. We're tied currently with Houston and Detroit. We all have 20 wins, and we have 57 losses. So I guess that would put us slightly ahead of Detroit, which only has 56 losses. So I will say fact that unfortunately this is not the season. I also, I did bet the under at the beginning of the season, but don't tell anyone.
I took the over, so I'm sticking with us.
Yeah.
Even though I know it's not going to happen. We'll talk about that in a minute.
All right, next one. This is one we talked about at the very beginning of the year, I believe. I don't know if it was on our first and second episode, which were actually never live. We started airing episodes with episode 3. So for you diehards out there, if you want to dig into the archive, maybe we'll make that available on the Patreon at some point.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, maybe we will. They're probably crap. The audio probably sucks. The content is wonderful.
Yeah,
Content
audio
is
is not going to be.
Audio is not going to be up to I'm the audiophile. That's not going to be up to my standards. So the next one, next fact or fiction, Pich.
Yeah.
Mo Bamba will be on the roster for the Magic at the beginning of next season.
I say fact.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a way he doesn't come back unless we're making some sort of trade. It's I guess totally possible, but I think he's going to be back. I just don't think there's any way somebody comes asking for Mo Bamba to the point that we've got to trade him out. And I feel like there's an easy way to re-sign him unless we can find a way to do one of those sign and trade deals, which I've always heard, but you're always sort of like, I don't really, but sort of. But I know that it happens.
Yeah.
Where a team can sign him to less money or something like that and then trade him at the same time. I just think he's going to be back. I think he's kind of part of this team. I think the guys like him, and I think just from a morale boost standpoint, if you're going to get rid of Mo Bamba at this point, better make sure it's for somebody that's going to make you a lot better, which could happen.
Yeah.
Package Mo Bamba and a second-round pick or something like that, and you could get somebody that'll be a very solid guy off the bench, or maybe even a starting center that's going to be serviceable.
Right.
I don't know. What do you think?
I agree that to my disappointment, and perhaps I agree. I think it's going to be fact. I mean, I don't want it to seem like I don't like Mo Bamba or anything. It's just, we've tried. We've seen the experiment out. All 4 years, he's had ample opportunity, and he hasn't really developed into the guy that we thought he might be. Now, I think Weltman and Hammond, because it was their pick, will probably keep him along, like you said. And I just don't see anyone because of his own play, like because of the way he played. He hasn't come on fire at the end of the year. He hasn't done anything. He's only had these kind of very small 1-game blips, but he hasn't had. I mean, if he would have finished the last 15 games of the season, dropping like 15 and 10 or shooting a higher percentage from 3, even though David Steele said he is shooting better from 3, I think maybe another team might have come over top of us, because he is a restricted free agent, and offered him something that our front office may not have been cool with going with. But I'm pulling up like a list of centers and how much they're making. Dwight Powell, who was like starting in Dallas, is making 11. Like DeAndre Ayton's about to get paid. But like James Wiseman is making 9. Where even is Mo Bamba right here? It's crazy to me that Wendell Carter Jr. is making less than James Wiseman this year. So these are average salaries, so it's not quite a yearly salary. But right now, Mo Bamba's averaging salary at $6 million a year. Okay. Like, just kind of bring him back for that, right?
You're not going to do any better in that realm.
Yeah. Well, if he will come back for that, then I'm fine with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think he probably will come back on a team-friendly deal.
Yeah.
I think that they probably always also, I think somebody somewhere is a very big Bol Bol fan. And I think that Mo Bamba can teach Bol Bol some things that he needs to know. I'm not saying Mo Bamba's the complete player and you need to totally do what he can do. But I think Bol Bol has the ability to become special, and especially on a team where young guys are learning. I'm glad that he's been around just kind of soaking this stuff up without playing right now. And I think the Mo Bamba effect on Bol Bol could have us asking a question at the end of next year that there's no way we're keeping both those guys beyond next year, maybe. But who better to train Bol Bol than Mo Bamba?
You think Bol Bol will be on the roster too next year?
I think he could make the roster for sure.
Oh, interesting. All right,
depends on who we draft.
That's
and what we've got
right?
left, and who we can bring in, and who we resign, what we've got left for space. But I think there's a chance. A chance.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're going to carry all 4 of those centers. Rolo, Bol Bol, Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter Jr., Moritz backs up at the 5. I don't think we're bringing all 5 of those guys back. I got to look. Rolo was a 2-year contract, I believe. I don't know what Moritz is on.
Well,
I think it was
I
a
think
1 or 2.
In the case of Bol Bol and even Mo Bamba, despite their height, you could say they're a stretch 4.
Yeah.
So,
That's
I
true.
mean, really, you're calling them centers. They could be. I mean, heck, even Moritz is a stretch 4. Let's be honest. He shoots the 3-ball well. So, and he can drive and do a lot of things that a center normally can't do. So, I think if you look at when all those guys, all of our centers are centers or 4s, kind of. We don't have a true center except for Rolo.
Well, I think Wendell is a true 5.
But he also does a lot of 4 things, but not stretch, power.
Okay.
The old power forward.
I thought that's extinct, man. I don't know. What is a power forward that you speak of?
It went the way of the Theo Melodon.
All right. Next is a guy who we haven't talked a lot about this year, RJ Hampton.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the statement. Fact or fiction, RJ Hampton's stock has risen this season.
This is easier than I think I'm going to make it sound, but I'm going fact.
Okay.
He's definitely risen because I don't think we really knew what we were getting with RJ completely based on last year. But now we know. And every time his stock rises high, he'll have one of those games like he did the other night where he picks up 3 fouls in a short amount of time and you're like, man, come on. keep yourself out on the court and get these minutes that you need. You're starting right now a lot. Like, absorb this, take advantage of the situation. You might not get this much longer. And some days he goes out, plays well, gets 17 points or whatever, shoots well from 3, and you're like, yes, more of this. But then he'll have a game where he regresses a little bit too. And I know that's pretty common of young players, but overall, I've liked more what I've seen, especially from like the midway point of the season on than maybe the first half. But I've liked more of what I've seen, because there was a time when we actually thought RJ was going to be deep bench doing an Iggy Brasdegas thing where he only gets to play, and he was for a while.
Right.
But then he started to get some minutes, improve himself, and it was just like, well, he's just doing his thing, and he's balling, and it's working well. So I say fact because it's up. He's not a 5-star player for me if we're doing it on that kind of scale, but his stock has definitely risen now. I think he's a valuable piece of this team, whereas one point he was just a guy that getting lost in the shuffle and what do we do with this guy, and he's probably just going to sit on the bench. But now he has a role, and he's playing it well.
I to my surprise, I agree. I would say that this is fact, but I think it may be more, not necessarily that his stock has risen, because I don't think his ceiling is rising, or he's becoming maybe more of a more dynamic player. It's actually because I feel like my expectations of him are changing, and I think his own expectations maybe of himself as a player within this team are changing.
Okay.
I think that in the beginning of the year, he was on ball a lot. He was one of our backup point guards. Mm-hmm. And that was ugly. Like, it just didn't look good. He was making bad decisions with the ball.
Right.
Speed dribbling himself into corners he couldn't get out of. Just kind of looked discombobulated out there, almost uncoordinated at times, not really sure about what he was doing. But now he's playing just a solid 2. Like, he's very clearly now a 2 guard. Mm-hmm. And I think because he's settling into that role, his stock is rising, because he's looking like a pretty damn good 2 guard now. He's got better length. He's a pretty damn good defender on ball. He's shooting well from beyond the arc this year, 36% from 3-point. And I'm sure if you look at certain spots, he's even hotter. So, obviously in open space, he's super fast and can really kill you on an open break turnover. So I think because he's filling into his role, his stock is rising significantly for me. RJ Hampton, if you would have asked me at the beginning of the year, I think I said multiple times, I'm kind of done with this guy. Like, I don't see where he's going. I think he's going to take many years to develop. And now I'm seeing, like, with an off season,
right,
and a clear role, he could be a damn good bench player for us.
Yeah.
And so his stock is up, sir.
Well, there was definitely one of these games we played at one point where we talked about who do we think is going to be a player that rises on another team.
Yeah.
And I believe I said RJ Hampton, because I just felt like we were going to be done with him or not have minutes for him. And then he's going to go somewhere where he gets time and do kind of what he's doing now. So great. He's doing it for us. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's better for me. I like that. Okay, last one, Pich. Your title reign with the Court Cousins Championship is about to come to an end. It's fact.
False.
No?
False. It's still here. I got to tell you, based on the way the championship standings are going right now, I'm beginning to embrace for the idea of not having the belt for the summer.
Okay.
But still the champ until I'm not the champ.
Yeah, well, this graphic, you can see, everyone, where we stand. We have 5 bets so that there's no tie, and we're keeping these wagers from the last games and going into our final 5 games. We bet on Cole Anthony's three-point percentage. I think I set that a little too high. He's not shooting 38% from the field, not as hot. We just talked about overall wins for the year. Pich has the over. That's not looking so hot at 23.
Damn you, Tank.
There it is again. Franz versus Wendell. Pich gave me a little bit of a cushion, and because they've been sitting Wendell, it doesn't look like he's going to have enough games where it looked good for a minute, because he's legitimately now a 20-10 monster. Like, he's coming out, he's going to get 20.
Hey, that's what I was banking on.
Yeah. Well, you didn't bank on the Tank.
I did not.
And that's the problem. We bet on the Magic points per game. Pich set that line at 106.7. I took the over. It's not looking good, but there's still some time to play if they have some high-scoring games. And last but not least, Markelle Fultz averaging over 9.5 points in at least 7.5 games. So at least 8 games, and he's got 4 right now. So I need him to get 4 more in order to win that bet, and that's could be possible. He's been getting a little bit more minutes.
5 games, but yeah, this is definitely possible.
It's definitely possible. So
I feel like that's the one that could decide this.
It is. I think it's going to come down to. I think that's what it's going to come down to. So
oh Lord,
we'll see. We'll see. That's for the belt for the summer, and whoever wins gets to rock it around with their bathing suit, shirtless, just kind of hang out around, do whatever they want. It's going to be a good time. So before we bid farewell to all the beautiful people out there, Pich, you have something to say, you said?
I got a couple things to say real quick.
Okay.
First of all, we made this bad boy, as you saw in the intro, a card mat for our Card Cousins spinoff. It came to us from Inked Gaming. So check them out if you're looking to make one of these as well for your YouTube show or whatever it is that you're doing. It's really cool, really good quality. I designed this on Canva, and then boom, they popped it right on here. Pretty excited to have that. And speaking of cards, even though we're not doing Magic the Card Gathering today, I found one. I found a gem. I found a gem, sir. This gentleman comes in at 4 feet 9 inches, weighing 72 pounds, from Bridgeport, Connecticut, a point guard. Age 10, Kyle Langen.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this guy ball.
Yes. Yeah.
Look at him go.
You bastard.
Ooh.
You bastard.
Well, I do live in literally the Hall of Fame for Kyle Langen, so I am going to occasionally see this. This was magnetized to the side of the fridge. I can't believe I didn't find it sooner. Of interesting note on the back of this card,
okay,
I see the team was Arkansas.
Okay.
So were you really rooting for Vermont versus Arkansas, or were you sticking with Arkansas?
Oh, no, I've been found out.
That definitely rose an eyebrow with me.
That's
sir,
hilarious. So we have a green shirt, but that was Arkansas somehow?
Green shirt, Arkansas.
Youth sports, baby.
That's how you did it. And the card says Wakeman on the front for some reason.
Yeah, let's Wakeman Boys and Girls Club. We got those around
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Wakeman Pee Wee basketball. You were coached by O'Keefe and Nizansky.
All right.
In case you wanted to know.
Yeah, those are legends right there, dude.
There it is.
Legends.
But hey, don't forget to get on our Instagram and check out the cards we're giving away. You got Cole Anthony. 3 of them are him rocking his North Carolina jersey. And
you like that.
These could be yours. And hopefully by the time you see this, North Carolina's getting ready for the final game on Monday night.
All right.
Go Heels.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, as always, for joining us. Please like, subscribe, follow us on social media, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Thanks for coming.